It's always a celebration here in the city of New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when...
And he's taken down here by the Saints. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Bolden. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Here's Blake Gillikin now. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
To throw on 3rd down. Huff. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Now this throw caught left side. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think...
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Falcons are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver. Whether they expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter, they'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you can see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bolden. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Throwing on first down. Bolden. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Eluding the pressure right. They look for Pitts again. This time he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
To throw on second down. Huff. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14. Saints, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Huff. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, Huff. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And they'll use him out in the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huff. That's complete to his running back, Perry. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
look to throw again. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons.
Well, sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And you think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, he's got a man, complete. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Flushed out right. Touchdown! N'Keal Harry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Second down and 3. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, Huff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 24, 30, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to take over right. There at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Second and 16. From the gun, Bolden. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Looking to throw. Bolden. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position when that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here this first half. Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Operating from the gun. Bolden over the middle, complete. That's Howard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Pete Werner able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
after the sack. Oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Back to throw. Bolden. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Bolden. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the left. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now back to throw.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 25. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the
touchdown Falcons.
Kyle Pitts
in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Falcons will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
38, Saints 7.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it.
And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before break. Bolden. And they move this all the way down to the 9. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
45, Saints 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to the...
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Back to throw. Huff. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play there on the catch and run.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Perry. And the Saints are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
First and goal.
From the gun, Huff escaping the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they've brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one.
His kick is good. Makes the score Falcons.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Looking to throw. Bolden. Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Watch the safety creep.
They go counter with Howard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 8 there on the 1st down play.
Back at the 47-yard line.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Off the play fake. Bolden. He leaves this one for Howard. Call it a gain of a yard. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4, 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints' 13-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Let's go. Cowboy 80. Hit the streets. Hit the streets. Hey, alert 3. Alert 3.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
44's Mike. Check. It's been a long day for you.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They run the counter. It's Howard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Back to throw. Bolden. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Watch the twist. Mike 52. Hey, let's get them home.
On 4th down, it's Howard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
Try to punch it in with Howard. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
52, Saints 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
He's going to look deep down the field. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And this brings up 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Bolden. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They go with Howard again. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So that one will be accepted. to throw from his end zone. Huff. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 11. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
And I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready. And they were, and they picked that one off.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. And they take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Falcons, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll have another road date next.